welcome along. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. It's been a heck of a year, so I thought I'd end November on a positive note with an unboxing, which is going to be the first time I've done something like this on the channel. So this actually been a long time since I unpacked any kind of MTG expansion set, but I want this to be a Commander-oriented channel, and they kind of hooked me in with Commander Legends. I have to admit I haven't done a lot of digging with the set. I have looked at the spoilers with the multicolored legends, so I know some of the legendary creatures that are in the box, but don't know too much about the commons and uncommons, so we'll see what I get today. Just as a bit of precursor, you know, the only two legends that I'm really hoping that I draw are Hamza, the Selesnyan elephant warrior or whatever he is. So I've been putting together the foundations or the nucleus for an elephant tribal for a number of years, and the Naga commander, which I can't even remember his name right now. So I guess that says a lot about my ambitions in EDH, that I'm really only hoping that I crack an elephant and a half snake, half person. But I guess it's good to keep your expectations low, and you might end up surprising yourself. So without further ado, I might get into this. I'm a bit excited. I'll try to avoid things like smelling the cards and all that kind of stuff. I'll fight every instinct that I have to do things like that. So let's get cracking with number one. I like the artwork on the box. I might end up saving the box actually and put all my junk in there. Okay, so what have we got? You know, what I might do actually is I'll make a pile for the artifacts. So we've got one here already, a Howling Golem. It gives your opponents a card as well, but that's okay. There are some decks where you actually want that to happen, like Saizan, and where you got Underworld Dreams and things going on at the same time. Oh, we've got a Charcoal Diamond and a Prophetic Prism, so a good start to the Mono Rocks. Might get that right out of the way. Put that over there. So, okay, this is the pile of metal, so that's the scrap pile. Actually, the commons will be the scrap pile, if history is anything to go by. Get into the uncommons now. So an Orc Pirate. I guess that's okay. Reclamation Sage, always welcome. Alright, so we got a Mythic Rare, Sphinx of the Second Sun. What is this? 8 mana. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, get an additional beginning phase after this phase. That's a lot of phasing there. I feel like the Invisible Woman. I'm not quite sure what that actually means, but I'm sure that'll have some kind of impact. Okay, and here's my first legend. It's a dragon. Amareth the Lustrous. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, okay, so ETB. Tribal, look at the top card of your library. If it shares a card type, reveal that card and put it into your hand. Okay, so Ban's been doing a lot of card and board advantage lately, so it's either putting a card into your hand or putting a land onto the battlefield or something like that. I got another legend. Actually, that Sphinx isn't even a legend. He's just a mythic rare. Just a mythic rare, I say. Keep the legends over there. What have we got here? Another multicolor. So Fairy Knight. Okay. I guess a fairy deck is on the cards. I got the one that you can bounce back to your hand for 1 life. I was going to make a Flash Tribal out of that one, but let's see what this Fairy Knight can actually do. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of those cards into your hand, the other into your graveyard, and it has Flash. So actually, it's probably be a better choice for a Fairy Flash Tribal. And I've got a Foil Deranged Assistant, got a Prismatic Piper. I have a feeling I'm going to be drawing a fair number of Prismatic Pipers. Not too bad if you want, because it has partner, obviously, so you know, if you want some kind of dummy commander to get a 2-color deck going, if I happen to draw that red mana lizard commander, lizards, there's a lot of good lizards in green, so that's where this guy comes into play. I don't know why I'm trying to be so neat about this. I should just tear it. Be vicious. Get to the meat of the matter. All right, so let's skip through commons, because okay, there's a Preordain. Not a bad common actually. Could always use a Preordain. What have we got? Okay, so that's a bit of a land ramp. I like that core cartographer or whatever he is. All right, so another mana fixing tool. Got a command tower. Not too bad. Okay, uncommons. What have we got? First response. My first response to this is actually into the common pile, because I don't need that. Null Caller, a vampire. Okay, Baron Sangir on the cards. Arcane Signet into the Mono Rock pile. Wrong turn. So that's the rare. What does this do? Instant. Target opponent gains control of target creature. Zedru, maybe? Rebek, Architect of Ascension. Is this an angel guy? No, artifacts. Artifacts you control have protection from each converted mana cost among artifacts you control. Oh, okay, that's interesting, I guess. And here we go. Here he is, the man, or the elephant himself. I'll just go through that. So a token here. All right. So that's what happens when you keep your expectations low. One goal fulfilled. So Hamza, the elephant man, and the elephant tribal, sometime in the future. There we go. That deck is now 90% complete. Why does this feel like I'm trying on pants? Just got another pirate. I guess I am a little bit interested in the pirates because I've always wanted to do an Admiral Beckett brass deck, but I didn't feel like Ixalan provided enough. Well, maybe it did. I just, didn't. I just overlooked it at the time. I really need to be, 100% on something before I'm fully convinced, which is kind of stupid to say and redundant. Elvish Doomsayer. Each opponent discards a card when it dies. I actually quite like that. Supreme Will, good one. Orzhov Advocist, I've already got one of those. Cast down, quite useful. What do we got? Horizon Stone. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes colorless instead. Okay, artifact deck, I suppose. Okay, a horse. Who is this? Keleth, the Sunmane Familiar. So I have actually, just like I've been doing with those packs over there, I've been holding the nucleus for a horse deck. I thought about using a Kenrith actually as the horse commander, considering kings ride horses and all that kind of stuff. So, the best horse, which is the Crested Sunmare, I think it's called, is in white. Obviously, this is not going to build a very strong horse deck if you go with this guy as the commander in mono white. But it's good to see that horses are getting some small smattering of support. The best horses horses have a really wide color pie. So, that's not entirely feasible. Oh, okay. I've got a pirate commander, all right. Whenever she attacks, look at defending player's hand, put a creature card from it on the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, some bit of pirate shenanigans, some spying. And what's this? This is actually a uncommon. It's a foil Quambage Witches. Okay. Old classic. I remember this now. I never played Quambage Witches. I can't even say it, so that's an indication that I never played it. So I'm not sure what uses I can find out of them. Omen Speaker, not a bad common. Palace Sentinels, Monarchs, a bit of some Monarch. I heard there's some Monarch stuff going on here. There we go. Marble Diamond, exactly what I needed. The diamond pile is growing legally this time. What have we got? Thorn of the Black Rose, some Monarchy, Path of Ancestry. That's a pretty hot land. Workshop Assistant, Monopile. Open the Armory. Ah, great. I like Open the Armory. I don't have enough of those. Okay, we got a Volcanic Torrent. What is this? Some kind of cascade. Damage. That's pretty good. All right, so we got a rare. What have we got? Emberwild Captain, El Capitan. You become the Monarch? Interesting. Whenever an opponent attacks you while you're the Monarch, the El Capitan deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. Okay, interesting shenanigans. So I guess with Zara, given that she plunders the hand as well, maybe the aim of a deck, based around this is to fill your opponent's hand and reap the booty, so to speak. So I'll put that in the rare pile. Where have I been putting my rares? I can't remember now. Okay, what have we got? Orc Pirate, Legendary Orc Pirate, Captain Vargas Wrath. Whenever it attacks pirates you control, get +1/+1 till end of turn for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone in this game. So again, another potential pirate commander in of himself. And we got a mono Spirit Pirate, Ghost of Ramirez de Pietro. I actually had no idea this card was in this set. I didn't even know they printed this. I thought Ramirez had been relegated to the annals of history. Can't be blocked by creatures with toughness 3 or greater. Okay, whenever it deals damage to a player, combat damage that is, choose up to one target card in a graveyard that was discarded or put there from a library this turn. Put that card into its owner's hand. Okay, more more deep thinking, complex thinking. I'm not sold on decks that involve that. It's got partner though, so potentially some things going on. And what have we got? Another pirate boarding party. 6/3, haste and cascade. Could be useful, and then that's a bit of a foil. Okay. Ambush Viper. Diamond. Another diamond. Diamonds in the rough. Like it. Can never go wrong with card advantage. Workshop Assistant and Path of Ancestry. I feel like this is a bit of a mirror pack. Angelic Armaments. Let me get that organized. Orc Warrior. Frenzied Saddle Brute. All right. So my World of Warcraft. Who's that guy? The orc that starts with Z in Mardu. I can't remember his name right now. Zergo. Yeah, this goes straight into the Zergo deck. World of Warcraft Orcs. There we go. Monstrous Onslaught. Blasphemous Act. Not bad. Okay, a Jin Monk. Siani, Eye of the Storm. Whenever it attacks, scry X, where X is the number of attacking creatures with flying. Flying shenanigans, as if we haven't seen enough of that lately. Abomination of Lana War. Okay, Elf. Elf Horror, Vigilance Menace, Power and Toughness equal to the number of elves you control plus the number of elves in your grave. So it's an elf tribal. It's a Cthulhu elf tribal. Interesting. Maelstrom Colossus. So just a big beating 7/7, 8 mana with Cascade. Really need to speed this up. Or maybe I'm enjoying myself too much. You can never deny yourself that. Armory of Irios, Iroas, whatever. And let's just Fire Diamond. There we go. I'm getting quite the collection of diamonds. I've got a Terramorphic Expanse. Put that in the artifact pile. Artifacts and lands I'm always on the hunt for. Valve Lightning. I like these lightning, the Val cards, I should say. Always like cards that make you do your opponents do things that they don't want to. Kind of, stirs the game up a little bit. Merchant Raiders, so Human Pirate. Cool. I got a rare land, War Room. So its thing is 3 colorless. Pay life equal to the number of colors in your commander's color identity. Draw a card. Not bad. Alena, Kessig Trapper. Mono red, Human Scout. First strike. Give some mana. Add an amount of red equal to the greatest power among creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn. It's conditional. Slurk, all ingesting. All right, I've been looking for an ooze commander. Enters with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever Slark or another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control that has a 1/1 counter on it. Okay, more Selesnyan shenanigans or ooze related stuff. And a copy token. Jeez. Okay. Normally I just write that on one of those post-it notes. I mean, how this card doesn't even let you remember what the stats of the thing you're copying is. So, God, my short-term memory is pretty awful. Okay, what have we got? We've got an egg, a dragon egg, leading off the commons, Dispellers, Capsule for the metal pile, Opal Palace, good. Scholar of the Ages, Return to Dust. Guiltleaf Winnower. I don't know why I got excited. I already have a couple of those. Sakashima's Will. All right. Target opponent chooses a creature they control. You control it. You gain control of it. Choose a creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. That's all right. It's a copier. Horse Tribal for the Crested Sunmare. Maybe even my Princess Lucrezia deck. Oh, that's a rare. That should go there. Al-Haru, Solemn Ritualist. A monk. When he enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter of each of up to 2 other target creatures. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, create a 1/1 spirit. Yeah, this is a lot of those mono white monks do this kind of stuff with things dying. Who have we got? Sakashima, of 1,000 Faces. Great. So it becomes a copy of another creature you control, except it has the Sakashima's ability. The legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. Can see a number of scenarios where that would be useful. Got a foil Opal Palace. Nice. Okay, I'm still waiting on the Naga, but there's still a number of packs to get through. I'll just start brushing through the commons. Although I said that, 3 packs ago. Cage of Hands, I like Cage of Hands. Commander's Sphere, there we go. Useful mana tool. So is Trusty Pack Beast to get that Commander's Sphere back. I might actually pair them together. Yeah, that's a good combo. Let's go straight to the rare. Promise of Tomorrow. 3 mana, so I like it already. Whenever a creature you control dies, exile it. At the beginning of each end step, sacrifice this. Return all cards exiled with it to the battlefield under your control. So, ETB, Tribal. Dargo the Shipwrecker. Oh, now that giant pirate. Isn't that kind of an oxymoron? Kind of redundant, I should say. Right, so that's a way to get him down to 1 red mana. And he's got partner as well. All right. Hans Eriksson. I've heard a lot about this guy. So what is he? A flower-sniffing human scout that's built like a barbarian. Whenever Hans Eriksson attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield tapped and attacking defending player or planeswalker. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. Whenever you put a creature card onto the battlefield this way, it fights Hans. He's 1/4. So that sounds Hansy. Benevolent Blessing is the foil, and I get a zombie with a lot of zombie tokens. Whenever I indulge in some theme boosters or some cheap boosters that are on discount. Okay, I've got a backwards card. That's a first. Could that be something good? No, it's something deranged. Military Sphere. I feel like I unwrapped this pack already. Vow of Wildness. Imperious Prefect. Thought Vessel. Thought Vessel. Actually don't have any Thought Vessels. They got too pricey for me. So that's useful. What have we got? A spider, a rare spider. What is this? Sweet Gum Recluse. Flash, Cascade, Reach. This spider has it all. He's really got you in his web. Whenever this thing attacks or enters the battlefield, put 3 1/1 counters on each of any number of target creatures that entered the battlefield this turn. Guess if you could find a way to break that. Krark, the Thumbless. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, return that spell to its owner's hand. If you win the spell, copy that spell. And he's got partner. Not bad. Kamal. All right. This is a good one. This is what I was looking for. Something like this. The big, juicy, the mono green, old school stompy Kamal, Heart of Kroza. At the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample. Instant win if you can get him down and your opponent's tapped out. Until end of turn, target land you control becomes a 1/1 elemental creature with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. And he's got partner. As if all of that wasn't enough. Rummaging Goblin as a foil. Another Prismatic Piper. I knew I'd draw a lot of Prismatic Pipers. Now I have to draw that mono red lizard. Make my lizard deck. And the Piper kind of plays tune and brings them all together. Okay, what have we got? Seer's Lantern. Spectral Searchlight and Maelstrom Colossus, another one. Explosion of Riches. Okay, it's a card draw thing. Scaled Behemoth. Scaled Behemoth? Wasn't this a common at some point? I don't remember. Confiscate. Confiscate's a good card. Ooh, what's this? Scroll Rack. 2 of my dreams in life have been to... One is to move to Ireland, and the other is to own a scroll rack. So I've achieved one today, so I can't hate this unboxing too much. So I have a scroll rack now. Actually, I'll keep that somewhere, especially where I won't bend the corners. Okay, here we go. Here's the mono red lizard. So I've been joking a lot about making that lizard tribal, so I guess I'm going to have to now. It's pays to have partner in that scenario. Who we got here? Gilanra, Caller of Wirewood. So this is a mana elf, as if they don't do that enough, but it gives you card draw. Whenever you cast a spell with a converted mana cost 6 or greater, also has partner. feel like they've over-partnered things these days. You know, they're really trying to widen the net, I suppose, in terms of combinations and all that. But maybe, you know, how about printing a wider variety of commanders in, you know, different color pies? We haven't had a 4-mana commander since that precon. Coastline Marauders. This is a powerful pirate, actually. If you can, he's got trample, but if you can get him unblocked, that's a lot of damage. Thirst for Knowledge. Is this a ninja? No, warrior. Prava of the Steel Legion. 3-mana cat soldier. As long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+4. I only said that in shock because it wasn't +7, which is quite common in white. But that's I guess that's with the you know, toughness shenanigans, dealing damage equal to the creature's toughness, and you can create a soldier token, a cat soldier with it. Armix Thrasher, so it's some kind of farming machine. Whenever this attacks, you may discard a card. When you do, target creature different player controls gets -X/-X, where X is the number of artifacts you control plus the number of artifacts in your graveyard. Useful, I suppose. Sentinel, Spider, and a Golem. Well, I don't have enough Golem tokens, and I say that with all seriousness. Okay. I'm actually getting some useful columns. You know, I'm just sort of brushing over them, but I can see decks where they'll definitely be implemented. Another dinosaur. I actually haven't seen this one before, and the dinosaur has Cascade. Kithkin. Haven't seen those creature types in a while. Benevolent Blessing. Another Vow in black. Hero's Blade. Useful. Here, okay. The rare is a Court of Ambition. You become the monarch. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card. If you're the monarch, instead each opponent loses 6 life unless they discard 2 cards. That's pretty good. I like that. Maybe even in a Sizan deck. Keskit, the Flesh Sculptor, some kind of mad scientist. Tap him, sacrifice 3 other artifacts and or creatures. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. 2 in the hand, 1 into the graveyard, and it has partner. Why am I not surprised? This card also has partner, Power Stone Engineer. So I guess those two can even be partnered together, since Keskit is a human artificer as well. This guy also taps. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. Look at the top X cards of your library. 1 of those cards into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Oh, they actually literally are partners. I was not kidding. Imperious Perfect, foil version. Okay. Foundry Inspector. I could actually make a standard deck with the number of Foundry Inspectors I've drawn. Core Cartographer. Those mono white decks, you know, I get a lot of advantage out of that. Armillary Sphere Command Tower. Kanji's Lieutenant. Okay. Bird Tribal. You see what this guy does. Each attacking creature with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn when this attacks. Not bad. Elves you control get +2. That's pretty good. Grafted War Gear. I remember that from the Mirrodin days. Who didn't have fun with those cards? Court of Cunning. You become the monarch, so it's a 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, any number of target players each mills 2 cards. If you're the monarch, each of those players mills 10 cards instead. So that includes yourself. Milling is such in fashion now. I never thought I'd say that again since the 16th century. Who's this? Brynlin the Moonkraken, 8 mana. When he enters the battlefield, whenever you cast a spell, is that a creature spell or no? Whenever you cast a spell with a converted mana cost of 6 or greater, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. That can get mightily annoying. Right, I've got the Chimera, or Chimera, however you prefer to pronounce it. It's a Jeskai Chimera. Tap choose 1. X is the number of spells you've cast this turn. Oh, okay. So Spell Slinging Chimera. So that doesn't do any disease. Scry X. Deal X damage to target creature or gain X life. Don't think I'll be working on that anytime soon. And I enjoy watching Spell Slinging decks. I made one with Mizex back in the day, and you know, it does do pretty successful things, but it's such a pain to keep track of all of the things that are happening. Can be a bit of a chore. Fire Diamond, Perilous Mirror, and a Morphic Expanse, or The Expanse. What's this? Ingenuity Engine, Cascade. Return target artifact to its owner's hand. Interesting. Volcanic Dragon. I've got another, what is this? Guildless Commons. Return a land, adds 2. Colorless. Magus of the Order is the rare. Human Wizard. Sack it. Another green creature and another green creature. Search your library for a green creature card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Alright, Core. A Core Scout. Intrepid Archaeologist. That archaeology deck finally going to get put into implementation. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player. Has partner. Okay. Who's this? Ich Tekik, Salvage Splicer. This is the Golem guy. Yes. When he enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colorless Golem. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on this guy, and a 1/1 counter on each Golem you control, and he has partner. Who have we got? Oh, this is a foil Amphin Mutineer. A Salamander Pirate. Wow, they're going into dark waters here. They're going to places I didn't think they could go with Salamanders. Salamanders on the horizon, and Prismatic Piper could be the commander. Alright, another Dragon Egg. Spiller's Capsule. Let's just float through. Make a stand. Lore Seeker's Stone. Okay, here's the rare. Jessica's Will. Choose one. What does this say? Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Okay. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. Useful spell in mono red. Who's this? Siren Pirate. Legendary Siren Pirate. Malcolm? The Siren's name is Malcolm. Malcolm, Keen-Eyed Navigator. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponents, you create a treasure token for each opponent dealt damage. So this synergizes really well with Admiral Beckett Brass and also the other pirates. So I guess he's, Malcolm in the middle. Kodama of the East Tree. Yeah, there were those Kodamas back in Kamigawa. I remember that now. Reach. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it wasn't put on the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana cost from your hand onto the battlefield. It's Cascade without Cascade, only it's drawing from your hand. That's what I'm getting out of that. Foil. Interesting. Interesting bordered Siani, Eye of the Storm. Another Prismatic Piper. Foundry Inspector. What is that? That's probably my 5th Foundry Inspector, if I remember correctly, which I never do. Another Pirate, Daring Saboteur. Dreamstone Hedron. What's this? Let's just go to the rare. Rakshasa Debaser. Cat Demon. Yeah, that are the Rakshasas. I remember these. Not really. Whenever this attacks, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard on the battlefield under your control. I really should get to know this guy. Who's this? Breaches, Brazen Plunderer, a Goblin Pirate. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponent, opponents with an S, exile the top card of each of those opponents' libraries. You may play those cards this turn, spend mana as it was any color, blah blah blah. Alright, so that synergizes with the Admiral. Is this Gore Muldrak? Amphibian Studier. You and permanents you control have protection from salamanders. And here I was joking about salamanders. Apparently they're a threat in Magic these days. At the beginning of your end step, each player who controls the fewest creatures creates a 4/3 blue salamander warrior. Now the word is stuck in my head, salamander. Pirates of the Caribbean, wanted cloak. Immaculate Magistrate, I know what this guy does. Tormod, the Desecrator. Zombie Wizard, whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. I like the artwork. That's really nice artwork, though. Here we go. The birds. Kanji, Sky Warden. Oh yeah, I remember Kanji. He's the dude with the feather counters. I wonder if this does the same thing. Whenever Kanji, Sky Warden attacks, attacking creatures with flying get +2 until end of turn. Whenever he blocking creatures with flying get +2. So pure birdage. Wouldn't feel right putting Kanji in a non-bird oriented deck. Very avian. This Pinon Blade. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. I like that. Actually, I remember that from something. I don't know what, which I say quite often in life. Sunset Pyramid, that's a good one. Bit of card advantage there. Rejuvenating Springs. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. So very oriented towards multiplayer. EDH. Legend Nadir, Agent of the Duskanel? Yes, I said that right. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir. Whenever this guy leaves the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 green elf creature tokens equal to its power. I can see some shenanigans or potential around that. It will synergize well with Nath of the Guiltleaf, actually, in terms of token production. Thalise, Reverent Medium, Human Cleric. I like psychics. I visit them often. At the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Shenanigans. And a dragon egg. Okay. Jalem Tome. Not bad. Well, not good, but not bad. A diamond, moss diamond. I think that's my first emerald. First of the Emerald City. Here we go. Akroma's Will. Choose one. Always promising, and it's an instant too. If you control a commander, as you cast this spell, you may choose both. Creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, and double strike as well. Wow. That's pretty strong. Creatures you control gain lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all... Wow, that's okay. So if you've got enough creatures on the board, that's essentially match winning, unless your opponent can do something about it. Anara, Wolvid Familiar. 4-mana Wolf Beast. As long as it's your turn, commanders you control are indestructible, have indestructible partner. Okay. I'm the Rabbit Wizard. Just what I was waiting for. Now I can build my rabbit deck. No, that wasn't a copy token, so, well, the seeds of the rabbit deck are here, or the carrot of the rabbit deck is here, I'll hopefully have this ready in time by Easter. Each player may draw a card, then each player who drew a card this way gains a life. Okay. Right. Preordain, that's good. Seer's Lantern is a rock. Spectral Searchlight, Maelstrom Colossus, Mindless Automaton, Automaton, whatever. Right, here's the rare. Armored Skyhunter, 3/3 Cat Knight. Whenever Armored Skyhunter attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put an aura equipment from among them onto the battlefield. The equipment can be attached to a creature you control. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So some interesting card advantage there. There was some kind of cat, Selesnian cat commander. What was his name? Nazin, that's it. He messes with equipment, or he produces equipment rather. Falthis, Shadow Cat Familiar, Nightmare Cat. Commanders you control have Menace and Death Touch. Okay, so that Kuambij Witches that I drew before, that actually, I've been thinking that it would go with Lizolda, that Rakdos witch who, sacrifices a creature and deals 2 damage. So, given that she's a witch, and this is some kind of familiar, a cat familiar that has a bit of synergy with Lizalda or Lysolda, however you want to call her, giving her a death touch, so that 2 damage suddenly becomes lethal to a creature. Here we go. Immolti, Celebrant of Bounty. So Immolti, just to close the loop, Cascade. So she has Cascade, and when you cast spells with CMC 6 or greater, those spells gain Cascade as well. And she's an Immolti, Celebrant of Bounty is 5 manas in the Simic colors. So there we go. So Hamza, the elephant deck, and Immolti, the Naga deck. Okay. Flood of Recollection is wasn't this an uncommon? Yeah, I think so. It started as an uncommon, now it's downshifted. So it has applications to Pauper, Sky Diamond, the diamonds. I think I've got the full set of diamonds now. In fact, I'm quite sure of it. Okay, Plague Reaver. A mono black beast. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice each other creature you control. Why would I want to do that? Discard 2 cards, sacrifice Plague Reaver, choose target opponent, return Plague Reaver to the battlefield under that player's control at the beginning of their next upkeep. So that's why I would want to do that. Halana? She looks like that mono red one. That's why I got confused. I thought I drew a duplicate. Reach. So she's a legendary human archer. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, pay 2? When you do, that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. So the typical archer thing where, it shoots machine guns, fires its poison arrow into a heart. Obika, Brute Chronologist. I always get mixed. I can't pronounce words that have too many O's in them. I have some kind of phobia, and phobia has O in the middle, so I'm surprised I got that one out. 4 mana Grixis, Ogre Wizard. The player whose turn it is may end the turn. May end. So I imagine you're ending your own turn. Okay. The Grixis Ogres now have a commander and a 9th Bridge Patrol and another monarchy, another crown. To date, strategic planning. I strategically planned this video really well. Well, you can tell given that I've gone way over time with a lack of scripting and planning that goes into my things. Amorphous Axe. So that does some shape-shifting stuff. Let me get a closer look at this. This was a rare. Now it's been downshifted. Coercive Recruiter, an orc pirate. Whenever this or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. Until end of turn, it gains haste and becomes a pirate in addition to its other types. So some ETB-oriented pirate-related shenanigans. Pirates can be quite surprising. Okay, this is the Demir Merfolk thing. Exile cards from your graveyard, equal to the number of opponents you have. Target creature. Card in your graveyard gains Encore until end of turn. Who's this? Rolgrok, son of Rolga. I should get to know Rolga. Oh, hell, the Kobold. The Kobold Warrior. First strike, menace, trample. Yes, I do happen to have that Kobold land. But what does this guy do? I got confused by that red dot. I thought there was something on the back. So he just has first strike, menace, and trample, and he's an 0-1. So obviously, I guess the advantage is he costs 0 mana. So that's a slow build towards taxing your way out of the game, or taxing the commander out of the game, I should say. Foil, Armillary Sphere. All Armillary Spheres should be foil, in my opinion. I've got a crow. Commander's Sphere. Trusty Pack Beast to fetch back the sphere. A Brass Herald. Necrotic Hex. 7 mana. Each player sacrifices 6 creatures. You create 6 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. I guess that sort of swings the game back in your favor. Radiant Sarah Archangel. Oh, actually, her name is Radiant. So Radiant Sarah Archangel. 6/4. 6/4 Flying Angel. Tap another untapped creature you control with flying. Radiant gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, and also it has partner. Good old partner. I've got the tree folk guy, the Abzan tree folk, so look out Doran, the siege tower. Whenever Kolfinor, the last you or another creature you control dies, return up to, what is this, one other target creature with lesser toughness from your graveyard to your hand. This manipulates the graveyard to an extent while giving you that tree folk, that typical, traditional tree folk backbone. Foil blade brand and soldier. The last pack in the box. It looks like there's some kind of a brochure under here. Build your deck, some kind of how-to guide. I'll have a look at that after the video. Let's open this last pack. Hopefully it's a good one. Not that it hasn't already been a successful day. Let's see what we get here. Maybe I'll draw the turtle. Wouldn't that be a crowning achievement? Or a shell. That would shell shock me, that's for sure. Jalem Tone. Pretty good. Moss Diamond. Alright. So got a nice haul of the diamonds by the end of this. What's this? Another Sisei's ring? I thought that said Soul Ring for a second. I thought, wow, this really would have been a great finish. Burnished Heart. Not too bad. Mythic Rare Pirate. A Port Razor. Orc Pirate. Whenever Port Razor deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there is an additional combat phase. And wow. So I see why that's a mythic rare. And that really synergizes with Admiral Beckett Brass. So that's probably going to go into that deck. If nothing has convinced me to make that deck till now, Port Razor definitely has convinced me. Tojo, Goblin Weaponsmith. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Rock. Equipped creature has pay 1, sacrifice Rock. This creature deals 2 damage to any target and equip 1. So he's a Rock Lord. Togo seems pretty interesting. And who is my last legend? Tuya Bearclaw. Whenever she attacks, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. There's been a lot of that happening in packs that I've seen, or sets that I've seen, rather. That +X stuff, and a foil updated art of Tana, the Bloodsower. So another Gruul commander. I know Tana. Whenever she deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green sapling tokens. So she's a farmer, and she has partner. So not a bad finish to the set. So I got 3 legends out of that pack and another crowning achievement. So that was fun. That was interesting. So I got a nice haul of legends. So that's a pretty big pile. Well, considering what I'm used to pulling, legendaries out of drafts and in booster type games. The draftings with your friends are always fun. This set was designed for drafting and multiplayer stuff, but I really wanted to feed the curiosity with this set, and obviously the best thing was drawing Hamza, the Guardian. That was the best thing about this pack. Getting the Elephant Commander. Finally I have my Elephant Commander. I hope that was interesting for you and convinces you to either buy or explore Commander Legends and work on your own EDH deck builds for the Christmas season. So hopefully I'll have a few more gameplay videos up by then. But if not, take care of yourselves wherever you are in the world. And until the next edition.